are stainless steel runners. 16 millimeter width, that's the rule. The grooves, you can go as far as 2 millimeter deep on your grooves. The length can be any length you want, but for control issues.
So the length isn't a function of the height of the
And we can change the bow of the runner for ice conditions by this little pressure bolt that's in the center here, in the back. It's down in here.
Yeah, that guy in there.
This little bolt right here can change the bow of the runner. More contact point, more control. Less contact point on the ice, less control.
But more speed.
Oh, a lot more speed. But how much speed can you handle? And then it gets out of control. So you have to, it's a happy medium to figure that out.
And is that depends on the ice conditions as well as
Ice
the
conditions. Hard
the
ice,
athlete?
soft ice, yep. Like when it's a warmer temperature and it's warmer ice, you want to go with a little less rock, a little more contact, because you're not cutting as much. But when the ice starts getting hard, you bring it up, you have less contact, but then all of a sudden it starts getting really squirrely. It's fast, but it's squirrely. So there's a happy medium. Let's see who can handle it, who can drive it the best.
So would you change that as after your first test run?
Yes, you can go and change it at any time.
But not in the middle of the
In the middle of the race, you can change
change
it.
it.
I mean, not in the middle, not while you're on the track. When you get done with it, you say, oh,
Yeah.
wasn't that squirrely? Wasn't that fast? Let's raise it. I know they're 2 millimeters, 3
Okay.
millimeters. We micro, just with a micro, we figure how far it is.
So you guys, like the team will have a
These are about
micrometer.
73 pounds.
Okay. Then it comes with its own micrometer? No.
No, we have one.
You have one, the team has one to, yeah, okay.
Everyone has one. It goes with the sled.
Okay.
Yep. And the tools.
So what other tools besides a micrometer?
Basically, they're Allen keys.
Okay.
A very, very simple 6 millimeter Allen key for the runner bolts. And these runners are interchangeable. They'll come out. You can change them with different runners. You just runner bolts right here.
So, and the difference between the runners has to do with the profile of the steel?
Just
The shape?
the runners are all the same now. Everything has to be the same. But how you set up your shape is up to you.
So you could, when you would swap out a runner, you might change this angle or this curve,
Yeah.
the radius of that curve.
Yep.
So you can
And it's flexible. The
Okay.
sled's very, it's very flexible. We have some that are very, very flexible for different tracks. I mean, certain tracks have tighter turning tracks than others. We want to go with something more flexible. But on a track that has very gradual turns and very long turns, so it's not many, it's not as rough as others, we go with a little stiffer sled. Stiffen it out. But you never want to use this on a really tight horse like the Placid, because the Placid you'll get eaten alive.
because it's so.
Because it's stiff, it wants to go straight. Yep.
So to stiffen it up, does that mean you use a different kind of material on
I use
the?
I have these stiffening bars inside.
Oh, so it's a structural thing. It's not this.
structural.
It's not this
No,
piece here.
It's all in the frame. It's all structural. Yep.
Okay.
2 axles, a front axle and a rear axle. And knee braces. And then the saddle itself is combined of 2 pieces connected with a torsion bar. So it can go up and down. And how the person uses his body language, it just can adjust and move itself.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now this sled was who used this sled?
Kamari Stewart from Jamaica. He's a brand new Jamaican athlete. He's on the 4x100 meter team with Usain Bolt in Jamaica, and he started to slide skeleton. And he went to me and my partner and said, "How do I get a sled?" I said, "We've got one for you."
So now is this as
Made in Johnson City, New York.
say that again?
Made in Johnson City, New York.
Excellent.
U.S. made, Jamaican driven.
Love it. Love it. Cool running. Cool running. Now,
Yeah.
a question for you. did you pick for him a sled that was inherently stiffer or more flexible or a different,
'Cause we were in
a
Park
specific
City, I
size?
used one that was just a little bit more stiff because
Okay.
he was such a new pilot, new driver. He didn't understand that he might steer too much.
Okay.
It'd be bad. So you kind of want to give him less ability to steer and go straight and see what happens. And he did great. I mean, it was his first race, and I mean, the guy finished very well. He was strong. He's got a great start. He's very fast.
So now you steer, do I understand correctly, you steer with your knees and your hips?
Your knees and your shoulders.
Shoulders, okay.
Yep. But if you get in a lot of trouble, you can just take your tongue and tap it out. Use it like a rudder on a boat.
Oh, okay.
If you get in a lot of trouble, you got to figure that one out.
Oh, okay, so like if you're about ready to,
About ready to miss the turn altogether and then flip at the very end, then you can do a quick steer. It's going to slow you down, but you're safe.
so where is your neck in all of this here?
Down here. Down here, your head's right here.
Okay.
Neck's here. Shoulder pads right here.
Okay,
Arms go alongside.
okay, all right.
Your feet out back. But picture this. They're going 80 miles an hour on this thing. 80 miles an hour. No brakes, no brains. Why not, right? Isn't it great?
It's wild.
I mean,
that's
it
for
really
sure.
is stupid.
That,
It really is. But it's an Olympic sport, and Legacy Racing Sleds was basically set up between me and my partner, Jimmy Shea, who was the Olympic gold medalist for 2002 in the sport of skeleton. And we thought that because of my involvement in the Olympics and his, that it was more of a legacy. I said, why do we call it Legacy Sleds? I said, I really like it.
okay.
So that's how it is.
So where did you meet? Is Jimmy Shea from around here too?
Jimmy's from Lake Placid.
Okay, so that's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Did you go to school with him when you were living in Lake Placid?
No, he went to school in Connecticut.
Oh,
Yep.
prep school?
No,
No.
that's where his family was at, in Connecticut. His grandfather was the 1932 gold medalist in speed skating. His dad was an Olympian in 1964 in Nordic combined skiing. And then he was the very first third-generation Olympian ever for anything. Very first third-generation Olympian in the world, and we got the medal in 2002.
Fabulous. So now, your dad was in the school district at Lake Placid, right? Is that how that worked?
No, my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah,
She was this
superintendent.
at Lake Placid. So that's how you got to Lake
No,
Placid.
I got to Lake Placid because of the ski team. I was
Right.
in Lake Placid coaching. Well, not coaching. I mean, I was in Lake Placid training, and then I got my knee blown out, and then was at the Olympic Training Center. I talked to a gentleman by the name of Donnie Haas back in 1984, and then he just asked me, he said, how fast are you? I said, I used to be fast before my knee blew out. He says, could you be fast again? I said, maybe. He took me out to the bobsled track, and from that point on, I said, oh, I'm hooked. This is stupid. It's crazy, but I'll do it. And 30 some odd years later, still kicking along.
There you go. So where was your mom in Lake Placid at the time, or where was she?
No, she didn't come up until after I was already made 2 Olympic teams. She was in '93, I think it was. She was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Cool. So what's the Johnson City connection?
I got moved here. My parents got moved here because of IBM in 1978, 79. My dad was working down in New York City with IBM. And he just got an offer, said, hey, come on up to IBM and help with their copier division. And he was with them until 1988. And then Kodak took over and bought IBM's copier division. And then he stayed until about 95. And then it was sold off.
Okay.
Like, it seems like everybody.
Did it seem like it was Savin at one point, or was that a competitor?
Savin.
Okay, so that was a competitor.
It was
Okay.
totally a competitor.
Okay, got it.
Kodak had their own copier industry. It was doing well. And then, like everything in Rochester and everywhere, everything went south.
Yeah.
But he was time to retire
Yeah.
anyway. He was done. And that's it.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. So all right. So now is your daughter?